Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our second episode of a new show that we're doing, Dave Golokhov Against the World, where we talk with Dave Golokhov about his weekly articles at SBR Forum and talk about some of the comments, positive and negative, that he gets on his threads on YouTube. All right, Dave, thanks for doing the show with us again.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so it looks like last week is exactly the reason we did this show. You got a few negative comments on YouTube, but your football picks swept, right? Well, how'd you do last week?
I did 3-0 with the value picks. I said the Packers, the Steelers, and the Colts. Those all came in. I also said in the other segment to avoid the Baltimore Ravens, avoid the Jags and Raiders game. I believe you liked the under there, and avoid the Titans-Bills game, which was also highly unpredictable. So not bad, but you know how this business works, Peter. It doesn't matter if I went 6-0 this week. If I go 3-4 next week, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how you do this week. If you keep pronouncing words in a Canadian manner, you'll get slammed anyway, you know? All right, but and let's look at some of these comments here. This guy, Nate's YouTube account, he made a comment, 1/10 would not bang Dave Golokhov. I don't know what that means. But then he also commented, funniest part of the video, recommended video, chemo hair loss video on the side. Dave, we made our video and YouTube recommended chemo hair loss.
Oh, interesting. I don't know what kind of related videos your SEO marketing team is doing. Maybe SBR has a separate business on the side, but listen, if whatever works for you guys.
No, this is at YouTube. What happened is they have some algorithm where they look at the pictures of the people and they listen to try to figure out the words that they're saying and try to figure out based on that what the what the other recommended videos should be, and I guess they just somehow scanned your face and decided that recommending a chemotherapy hair loss video would be an appropriate thing to do.
Sure, good for them, I guess.
Are you concerned about your baldness at all, or is that not a big deal to you in general?
Trust me, the women like it. That's all that matters to me.
The women like, come on, man. They do? How do you know that?
How do I know that? Well, you want to get into my personal life, Peter?
No, I'm just saying, they say they talk about your shaved head, that they like it, they've mentioned it to you, or do they say you'd be sexier with hair?
Listen, I write for AskMen.com, and if you read any of the style articles, the key for guys, the number one mistake for guys is they're too sort of unkempt. You know, they kind of look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Really, all you need to do is have a good, clean look. However it is, if you have facial hair, just make sure it's clean and trim. If you don't have facial hair, make sure you're shaved. You don't have the shadow. If you're, whatever your hairstyle is, make sure it's clean, crisp. You're good to go. That's what women like.
Look at that. Dave Golokhov from AskMen.com. Who would have guessed that he's, so on the ball when it comes to male visual presentation. All right, well, let's look at your picks this week. See if you can sweep them again. Value picks. What do you have here? First one, Tampa Bay and Minnesota. What do you like here? The Bucks, +7. Yeah. That makes some sense. That's kind of Minnesota's kind of winding down. I agree with that. Carolina and the Bears. What do you like there? The Panthers, that's right. I agree with that. And Giants and Cowboys. That's probably the most debated game of the week. A lot of people are saying that Dallas might be a good pick here. Tell us a little bit about that game.
Yeah, and I think I picked the Giants, didn't I, there, right?
Yeah, +1.
Yeah, I do like the Giants. I just feel like New York plays better on the road. If you look at their home games this year, they were down 14-0 to Cleveland. They had to dig out of a massive hole against Tampa Bay. They lost to the Cowboys. Who else I'm missing? They nearly lost to Washington last week. So I think that the Giants, you look at what they do on the road, they blow out San Francisco, they blow out Carolina. It's a team we've known for a while. They play better on the road. Yeah. I don't think the Cowboys should be favored in many situations right now. I want to bring something up to you, Peter. I actually want to get your opinion on this.
Sure.
People always rip Tony Romo, right?
Yes.
People say Tony Romo, he's not that good. You can't win a Super Bowl with him. Tell me, what does Tony Romo have to work with in Dallas? Miles Austin used to be a #1 receiver. He's not that anymore. Des Bryant is inconsistent at best. Jason Witten, he's steady, but he's not what he used to be. They have no running game. They have no offensive line. Tony Romo is the only thing that Dallas has. They have nothing else.
Well, I think for years people have thought that Dallas, had a sum that was way less than had a total that was way less than some of his parts, and most people blame that on him, and they called him the ultimate choker. That's what one guy in our YouTube thread this week called him, and I think that's kind of I agree with that. Like in big games, in any game that like matters, he just tends to not get it done. He tends to find a way to lose somehow.
But who else helps him? You know what I mean? Who does he have there? Fine, you want to blame Romo for not elevating the play, but Des Bryant is constantly making mistakes. Des Bryant disappears in every big game. In Seattle, and was it week 2? They got smoked because guys like Bryant aren't performing. Guys like Miles Austin aren't helping them out. Jason Witten, yes, he's banged up, but he's not what he used to be. There is literally no running game. Look at how many busts at running back Dallas has had. Felix Jones, Marion Barber. I mean, even DeMarco Murray, we're starting to wonder. Tony Romo literally has no help. I think he's the best player on that team. Going back to the pick, why would you want to lay anything with the Cowboys at this point?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I thought that the Giants were pretty obvious. Yeah, because they're playing with revenge too. I'm just there's a lot of people saying that the Cowboys are the good pick here, but I don't know. I definitely would ride with you. No, I think Dave. I think you might be looking at another 3-0 sweep this week. I can't poke any holes in any of those games really. And then let's see, games to avoid: the Monday night game, the Arizona game. Really, why?
Arizona and San Francisco. I think I put to avoid Arizona. I'm just not a fan of Arizona right now. It has nothing to do with San Francisco. Just Arizona is a straight up team right now. I would be fading them, period, until I see something different. I think their 4-0 start was a bit of a mirage. What we saw from them in the preseason is now happening. John Skelton is awful. They have no running game. Skelton can't get the ball to Fitzgerald. The receivers can't get down the field fast enough before Skelton gets sacked. This offense really has no pop. You look at their defense too. I know the defense is doing all they can, but last week Minnesota, I think, had like 200 yards of offense, but still scored 21 points. So that goes to show you that Arizona is just a fading team right now. Until some kind of catalyst changes, maybe it's Cobb coming back, maybe it's Beanie Wells or the running game waking up. Until something changes, this is a team to fade, including this Monday Night Football game.
All right, I don't know, man. I mean, they play low-scoring games. Now they're a touchdown home dog on Monday night. The Monday night home dog angle isn't nearly what it used to be, but it still comes into play. And I think this is one of those situations, maybe. I don't know. I agree with you, though, that fading the Niners with the Cardinals is obviously a treacherous thing to do. But then the other game, don't touch Dolphins-Jets. What do you mean? The Dolphins is my favorite pick of the week.
I'm just not a big fan of this game overall. I think the Jets are overrated, so I could see why.
Overrated? They suck. What do you mean?
They do suck. Yeah. No, I just think that recently we've been talking about the Jets as a team that's woken up or has come back to life. We're taking solace in losses. People, they're losing to the Texans, they're losing to the Patriots, and people are saying this is progress. I mean, come on. The Dolphins, on the other hand, I think they're also a bit overrated. People are saying at 3-3, they're only a game out of first place. This is a team that's very limited. The running game is a concern. Ryan Tannehill still turns over the ball a little bit, and you can't really trust him as a rookie. On top of that, it's a team that's got to travel all the way north.
They're coming off a bye. They're coming off a bye.
They are, I know, but it's still a warm weather team traveling up north to frigid temperatures. It's not an ideal situation for them. I'm just saying I don't like this game all the way around. It's just, Miami should have won the first time that these teams met. I wouldn't be surprised if they won this time. It's just overall not a game that I want to bet.
All right, you say don't touch it. I say put Miami in every teaser. Tease them up to 8.5 and put them in every teaser you got.
Well, in a teaser, sure. You're going to add 7 points to any 7 points or add or take away 7 points to any spread. Sure, it's going to make it more attractive. But I'm
saying there's value if you put them in a teaser. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. Obviously,
the line is as is. I'm not a big fan of the Dolphins.
All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree on that Dolphins-Jets game, and then the Chargers-Browns. Yeah, I guess pass on that one. That makes sense to me. All right, thanks so much, Dave Golokhov. Great show once again. We will talk to you again next week.